Hello everyone. Welcome to the series of webinars of the Eötvös Loránd University. Our webinar today is going to be about the bachelor program in computer science. I am very happy to greet you all here. We have very many participants being interested in this event today. So thank you very much for the registrations. We will have today 4 presenters. My name is Márton Bélik. I work for the Faculty of Informatics. We have Ambrus Kaposi with us, who is one of the scientific faculty. Thank you very much. And we have 2 students from our bachelor program that we are going to discuss today. So thank you very much for the participation as well. First of all, I would like to start with a video so you can have a look of us, of the faculty. You can have a look from the bird view. Please let me share you this whole video. The red building is the main building of the Faculty of Informatics. So most of the classes and most of the venues are there. You can see the Danube, which is splitting the city into parts, the Pest part and the Buda part. That's what we are very famous for. The Danube is also one of the longest rivers of Europe, and it has the most capital cities on the banks. So basically Vienna, Bratislava, Budapest, and also Belgrade are located on the Danube. Around this university building, you can also see a science park. So basically, we are very close to companies, large enterprises, and we are very close to the industry as well. As you can see, these images were taken in the autumn. In Budapest, in Hungary, we have seasons. So we have 4 seasons, and in autumn, the trees get really colorful. And we will have a little view on the Pest side in a second. There it was, which is the business capital, the business hub for us. So we can see that the Buda part is a hilly one and the Pest side is a very flat one. So my name is Márton Bélik. I'm very happy to be with you here. Let me start the presentation about the Faculty of Informatics. Our today's webinar is going to last 1 hour approximately. We will start with this faculty introduction. Then we will have an introduction to the bachelor program itself. Then we will talk a little with our students at this program. And then we can have a quick view about the application process and how to apply to this program to the Bachelor of Computer Science. Eötvös Loránd University is the university that was founded and is continuously operating since 1635. We are, to be honest, we are the most popular university in Hungary, and therefore we are receiving more than half of the national applications. So if you are in Hungary and if you are familiar with the Hungarian higher educational landscape, then you are very much likely applying to one of our degree programs. The university itself is operating for almost 400 years, providing a very high quality education and research. And that's why in 2010, we received the Research University Award. And in 2013, the university received the University of National Excellence Award. What is very important for us, for our faculty, is that we joined integrated a center that is called Savaria University Center, which is up north in the country. We are not only ranked very well in the national rankings, but we are also ranked in the major international rankings. If you have a little time, then I would advise you to look up these rankings and check us. You'll find us at most of the places, all the important places. The university is growing, so the number of students is growing, and also the number of staff is growing. I am sorry for this. Something may have happened to the presentation because some of the figures just disappeared. Basically, what this chart would like to show you is that 20% of our student body are international students by now. 1 year ago, it was around 14, 15%. And we really experience a huge increase in most of our degree programs when it comes to international students and attendance of international students. And in 1 year, we received 66% more applications than in another one. So also the bachelor programs are very popular, but not only the bachelor programs, also the masters are attracting more and more international students. And not only international students are joining us, but also international faculty. So we have from year to year, we have more and more faculty members from all around the world, to be honest. Our faculty is interconnected really well, also within Europe and also all around the globe. And we also operate many high-level international corporations. I will start with the CPUS network because it was awarded 3 times with the Minister's Prize of Excellence by now. So we are the coordinators of one of the CPUS networks, which is a Central European program. We are the founding higher educational institution of the EIT Digital in Hungary, one of the founding universities. And we are also taking part, of course, in the Erasmus program, where we have lots of mobilities, but we are also participating in the European Universities Initiative. And we also have a master program that I'm going to show you a little later on. If you look at the map, this is a Budapest central map, and what it wants to highlight is that we are really centrally located. Basically, from Budapest, you can reach most of the European cities, if not all the European cities, with a 2-hour flight, or sometimes 2.5 hours. Lisbon is far away from us, so that would be 3 hours. The university attracts a lot of industrial partners as well. So here you can have a quick view at the major labs that we have. So the university and the companies, while they are cooperating, they are building up labs where the students can do research. They can also do internship, and they can also work on their theses. When it comes to the university companies, the partner companies of the university, then we can say that we have more than 100 companies. It was very difficult to put all the logos of the companies on one slide. And what is very important to mention is that the innovation and entrepreneurship is really an everyday thing at our university. So with all this educational background, with all this scientific knowledge, and with such a large international and industrial network, we are really linking the dots. So basically, the education, the research, and the business is meeting at the university. And we are not only building up research projects, but we are building up also innovation and entrepreneurship projects, and we are also providing innovation and entrepreneurship subjects. So if you are a student of Eötvös Loránd University, the Faculty of Informatics, then you can also pick from courses that are not on the science itself, but that are on how to innovate, how to create businesses, how to create innovation, and also subjects on how to start your own company, how to start your own startup. So you are, when you are graduating from ELTE, you are not only a very good scientist, but you can also become a great business person. Let's have a look at another video here. So I would like to ask the second video to be shown. Thank you very much. He is John von Neumann, who used to be a PhD student at Eötvös Loránd University many years back. Let's hear what he has to say. Well, we may have some technical difficulties, so we cannot hear what John von Neumann has to say from the past. But what he's talking about is informatics, automation, and that the fields and the professions are going to increase in this field. So he was already projecting that he was already projecting that with informatics and with all this automation, more and more educated professionals are going to be needed. This is a message from the past, and I would like to show you our degree programs that we have on bachelor and master level, because I think we are really following the great advices of our noble people. So we have programs. The largest program that we provide is Bachelor in Computer Science. That is the largest by size of the students and also the size of the faculty. We also provide Bachelor in Mechanical Engineering. We have a master program in Computer Science for Autonomous Systems, master program in Cartography, and we have master program in Computer Science, of course, with 6 specializations. This is really important, that while you are studying the master program, that you can already specialize yourself in one of these directions. So by selecting the bachelor programs of Eötvös Loránd University, you are really getting a very good opportunity to join these high-level master programs. We also provide master programs jointly with other universities. We are members of 2 huge European consortia. Let me start with the EITE Digital, because that is much larger than the robotics cooperation. Within the EITE Digital, the universities, 17 European universities, are joining forces, and they are providing 8 double degree programs. Our university is cooperating in 5 of these double degree programs. This means that you have to study 1 year at us and 1 year at a partner university of ours. Within the EITE Digital, there is a large network of business developers, of companies, of researchers who are constantly working on the educational programs, and also on the ecosystems that can be built up around these educational programs. So within the EITE Digital, you are not only studying how to become a scientist, but you are also studying how to become an entrepreneur. And you are provided with 30 CTS credits throughout the 2 years. So it is 1 semester of studies. And you are spending this 30 CTS on innovation and entrepreneurship only. So there is a really big part of the education of the curricula that is dealing with innovation and entrepreneurship. Erasmus Mundus Joint Master Program is a joint cooperation with the University of Girona and the University of Zagreb. We just won this year the opportunity to organize this program. So this is very new, but we are very happy. We already closed one of the application deadlines, and you can see the last application deadline this year. It is the 31st of May. This master program is focusing on robotics education. We also provide education on doctoral level that I'm not going to talk longer right now. And we also have, the university has several summer schools, but I wanted to highlight 3 of them. First is the summer school about data science for financial data. This is the one organized with the EITE Digital. We also have a summer school on Central European Functional Programming. And the university and the faculty also has a summer school in the Carpathian Basin with students from the Carpathian Basin. So it is a regional summer school, to say so. The university also provides many connections, and it is really open for not only for business partners, but also for all the social challenges that we have. We have laboratories to educate the youth, the children, on mathematics and computational thinking. We have a large networks of schools, regular K-12 schools, and also network of disadvantaged schools, where we are reaching out and we are working on mostly mathematics education, but it would be much more STEM education. We are participating or helping the participation of the BEBRAS challenge, which is a large global international challenge, and very many children are participating. So in 2020, there were 12,000 children between the age of 12 and 16 participating in this challenge. And of course, we are providing lots of courses for non-computer science students, usually for university students, but we are really open to receive many participants from various areas. The university itself has many student services. There is a separate webinar about the university and about the university services. Here, I wanted to show some of the faculty services that the Student Support Center offers. One of the very important things is that that the students are not only dealt on, how to put it, on scientific level, but you will also get support in learning methodology, how to learn, how to prepare for a course, how to manage your time, how to manage yourself living far away from home. These are all very important issues. Also, we have individual counseling. We also have life coaching and crisis intervention. So basically, if something would happen, that there are people here to help you to get through it and to learn from it for the future. This Student Support Center organizes various events, really very many events. What I wanted to show here is the morning faces. Yes, this is happening in the mornings. Yes, this is about the morning faces. We all know what morning faces look like. And this is one of the initiatives that the support center gave us as an opportunity throughout all this pandemic. So with a lots of humor and with a lots of energy, they are really there and they can be approached 24/7, basically. We also have a library that we like to call as library and community zone. So we are really switching from print books to much more to community zones as online prints are more and more available. And I would also mention the Neumann János Talent Development Association, which is an association who is helping the very talented students and is helping with the talent development. Here you can see the main websites of the university, of the faculty, of the program itself, of the Bachelor in Computer Science. So basically, the third link is the most important for you at this stage. And at the bottom of the slide, you can see the email address that you can turn to anytime with any question. So if you had really any question on the curricula, on student life, about how to arrive to Hungary, the international coordinators are really happy to respond to them, to deal with them. Here is ending my presentation about the faculty itself. Thank you very much for your attention so far. And I'm giving the floor to Ambrus Kaposi, who is our faculty. Thank you very much, Ambrus.
Thank you. I hope you can hear me. I am Ambrus. I'm an associate professor at the Faculty of Informatics. I will say some things about our computer science bachelor programs and some background that might be interesting for you to understand where I'm coming from, and as an example of one of the members of the faculty of informatics. So I will talk a bit about my background, then what kind of research I am doing, what am I teaching, and then I will share some of my thoughts about our bachelor program or BSc program. If you have any question during my talk or while I speak, I am seeing the chat at the same time, so you can write messages in the chat. So, well, so I'm a teacher here at the university, so I give lectures and I do research. I supervise students. I spend lots of time talking to students and do like individual supervision and doing projects together. And when I was so a long time ago, when I was in high school, I was dreaming about using the perfect operating system, which is very minimalistic. It's set up in a way that you can understand the inner workings. You know why different parts are there in the system. Like there were two examples here. I show two examples on the slides. One of them is BOS, which was developed by a company, but then the company went bankrupt, and now it doesn't exist anymore. But some people are rewriting it as Haiku OS. So this is an operating system as an alternative to Windows or Mac OS, and it had a very unique database-like file system where each email, each MP3 file, or was a separate file, and it had special attributes, which for the email, the subject and the text and the sender and these kind of information were attributes in the file system. So you could search through your emails just as you could search through your files. So everything was a big unified system. Or the Plan 9 operating system, which was based on the idea that everything is a text file. So even the file menu in one of the applications, you could edit the entries in the file menu and change the application on the fly as you were using it to fit your needs better. So like to give some idea about some analogs from architecture, the perfect operating system is some place where you understand fully why the different parts of the system are there, like in Villa Savoy, that's a building by Le Corbusier near Paris in France, where you see how the building connects to the ground, and in the building the structural parts are separated from those parts which are used for living or as the functional parts, and these are not intertwined, so you can really accommodate it for your own needs. Or in Centre Pompidou, which is in Paris, it's all the pipes and support parts of building are external, so you can see the inner workings of the buildings, and you can understand why things are working that way. So that was my vision about the computer, that if I use a computer, I really want to understand all the parts, and the whole system should be built in a way that it's simple enough to understand everything, and all the inner workings could be exposed in a way that is easy to understand. And yeah, and another thing that I was interested in, it was like logical puzzles and things like good as incompleteness theorems. Like, you know, from most sentences you can decide whether it's true or false. Like, I am currently sitting in Budapest, that is true. Okay, but what about this sentence that is on the left hand side of this slide? This sentence is false. So if it's true that this sentence is false, then it is false, the sentence itself, right? So it cannot be true, because if it was true, then it was false, right? But what about saying that, what if the sentence is false? Okay, so let's decide that this sentence is false, but then it says something which is true, right? So If it's false, then it is true. If it's true, then it is false. So it's something very strange. And I wanted to understand these kind of things. So this is why basically these were my motivations to study computer science and understand or study logic, mathematics, computer science. These are all very connected subjects. But then I did a bit of detour. I went to the medical university, which I partly did in Regensburg. So I am originally from Budapest, but I spent half a year in Regensburg. I spent 4 years doing my PhD in Nottingham in the United Kingdom. And I spent half a year in France, in Nantes, as a postdoc after doing my PhD. So I traveled to lots of places in Europe, and I lived in all these places. And I think it's a very useful experience and very interesting to go to and study in a different country. What I liked most about studying the time and the opportunity concentrating on my studies, for sure, and not being distracted by always distract anyone who's at home and has family, lots of friends and old friends, newer friends, and everything, and if you go far away, then to really focus on the particular things that you're interested in. And also it's a very good experience for personality development. And Budapest is a really nice city. I like it very much. So whenever I went away for some time, I was always waiting to go back to Budapest. And it's a very lively city. So I'm sure if you come here, you would like it. Yeah, so I would like to say some words about if you start getting more involved in computer science, you will find out, or mathematics. By the way, so mathematics and computer science are very close together, and computer programming and writing mathematical proofs, it's a very similar activity. This is some kind of deep connection that you will appreciate more and more once you learn more about computer science. So there are the combinatorialists, programmers and mathematicians, and there are the logicians. And here there are two famous examples. Paul Erdős was the prototypical combinatorialist. He was a Hungarian mathematician, and he was the most productive mathematician of the 20th century, while Alexander Grothendieck was a French mathematician who was one of the great theorists. Like the combinatorialists are the problem solvers, and the logicians, they are more the theory builders. So the combinatorialists are the programmers who want to write quickly and fast a program, and then the program should work efficiently and very fast. While a logician is someone who's thinking more about writing the program to be correct. So making sure that the program doesn't run into an infinite loop, or you won't need you won't reach the blue screen of death or something like that. So combinatorialists are more for performance, while logicians are more for modularity, abstraction. Combinatorialists are good for maintaining an old pre-existing computer system, while logicians like to build new systems based on more clear foundations and nicer principles. Combinatorialists are the ones who are called hackers, and logicians are the ones who would be closer to being a linguist. And the favorite programming language of a combinatorialist is C, while the favorite programming language of a logician is Haskell or ML or something like that. Okay, you will, or you can be on halfway between both of them, or being being at both sides at the same time. That's also a good thing, but it's nice to appreciate these two approaches, and you can identify these ways of thinking. And now I would like to show you a taste of being at the university, or being more on the logician side than the combinatorialist side. So I am certainly on the logician side, and my research is more focused on the logic part. So here is an example of a simple formal language, which is not a programming language, it's just a formal language as a first example, where you can write sentences in this language. I hope you can see my mouse. Can you, does it work? Where my mouse is moving, can you see it on the slide or no? No, okay, then I need to read it. So this, in this formal language, we can write sentences. A sentence in the middle, you can see a sentence consists of a noun phrase, then a verb, and then another noun phrase. Okay, so let me give an example. So Alonso rides the blue bicycle. That's a sentence because it starts with the noun phrase Alonso. Let's see, a noun phrase is either a noun or it's the definite the, and then an adjective, and then a noun. And the noun is either a name or it's bicycle. Okay, and there are 4 names that we can write. So here for the first noun phrase, in this first sentence, we chose to have a single noun, which is a name, and the name is Alonso. Okay, the verb, we have 2 verbs, listens to and rides. So the verb is rides in this case, and the second noun phrase is starting with the word the. Then we write an adjective, and the adjective can be 3 different things: blue or fancy or electric. Okay, so now I will show you some sentences, and according to these rules, you should decide whether this is really a sentence or not. So this first example, I claim that it is a sentence. So think about the second examples. So Moses rides the blue scooter. Okay, so it starts with a noun, right? Moses. Then there's a verb, rides, and then it's a noun phrase. So the blue, and then there's scooter. But okay, this doesn't work because because a noun can either be a name or a bicycle, and scooter is not a name nor a bicycle, nor bicycle. Okay, so this is not a sentence. Let's see this one. Alan rides the bicycle. If this was lecture, then you could answer live, but you can also answer in the chat what you think about this. So Alan is fine, right? So we start with Alan. That's the noun phrase, which is a noun, and which is a name, and then we choose the last name, which is Alan. Then the verb is rides. That's fine. And then the noun phrase is the bicycle, but this is not according to the rules, right? Because after the, we must have an adjective, and here there is no adjective before the bicycle. Okay, yeah, thanks. Oh yeah, very good. I can see some chat messages which say that it's not a sentence. What about this one? The blue bicycle rides Alan. Is this a sentence? It doesn't really make sense, right? A bicycle cannot ride a person, right? It should be the opposite way. But okay, but that's the point of formal language, that it's not about the meaning. Here are the formal rules, and whatever you write with these formal rules, if it's according to the formal rules, it should make sense. And you know, programming is like that. You write a program, sometimes you run the program, it doesn't make any sense. It does some rubbish, but still it's according to the rules of the system. And here this sentence is completely fine according to the system, according to this formal language. The noun phrase is the blue bicycle, which is fine. The adjective is blue, and that's one of the adjectives that's allowed. Then the verb is rides, and then the last noun phrase is Alan. Okay, so let's see this one. Here, this is another correct sentence. In fact, Kurt listens to the electric Kurt, right? There's one, okay, the one peculiarity is that electric Kurt probably doesn't make much sense, but also that Kurt is used twice, and that's also fine. So you can use any names any number of times according to such a formal language rule. Okay. Okay, so now the question is, how many sentences are there? How many different sentences can you make with this formal language? You can think about it a bit. Okay, I give few seconds to think about it, and maybe if you're quick, you can write the answer in the chat. Okay, so let's count it together. Okay, so there's an answer 2, but that's not enough. I mean, at least I showed, I think, at least 3 proper sentences, which were all different. Okay, so how many noun phrases are there? Let's see, a noun phrase is either a noun or the adjective noun. Okay, let's see, how many nouns are there? There are 5 nouns, right? Because a noun is either 4 names or a bicycle, so there are 5 nouns. Okay, how many noun phrases are there? 5 nouns. Then there are 3 adjectives and 5 nouns. So a noun phrase is either a noun, which is 5, or an adjective and a noun, and there are 3 adjectives and 5 nouns, so that's 15 altogether. So if I add these 5 nouns and the 15 adjective nouns, then we have 20 noun phrases, okay? And then we have 2 verbs. So in a sentence can be formed by 20 noun phrases, then 2 verbs, so that's altogether 2 times 20, 40, and then we have 20 more noun phrases. Okay, so altogether, I think that's 800. So you can write 800 meaningful or 800 valid sentences in this formal language. Okay, so now let's change the formal language slightly. Let's see what happened. The only change was, let's see, I just switch back for a second and switch ahead again. You see that the only difference is that there is one more way to form adjectives. In addition to blue, fancy, and electric, you can also say, use a pre-existing adjective and then put and then another adjective, okay? So, okay, so in fact, I should have given an example first. So, for example, you can say that Moses rides the blue and fancy bicycle, okay? Or Alonso listens to the fancy and electric Alan, right? These sentences make sense in this language. So now the question is, how many sentences are there now that we added? Previously there were 800 sentences. Now that we added this way to form new adjectives from pre-existing adjectives, what do you think? How many sentences are there? Okay. So, you know, now this event is about preparing for the university. So you will need to prepare for the teacher asking you questions and thinking about it on the fly. So one answer is 16. That's not enough. I mean, there were 800 in the previous one, and now we added more ways to form. Oh yeah, okay, 1600. That's a valid guess, but because you could think that there are double because so that's a very good guess, very good first guess. Okay, but we don't have too much time, and this is not a real lecture, so here I will reveal the answer to you. Let's see. Let's see this one. So you can say Alonso rides the blue bicycle. That's fine. But now we can replace blue with blue and blue. Okay, that's also a valid because blue is an adjective. Blue is an adjective again. But blue and blue is itself an adjective. So I can also say Alonso rides the blue and blue bicycle, right? This is also according to the rules. And in fact, I can put blue there as many times as I want. So in fact, there are infinitely many sentences. Yeah, very good. Someone already answered it and got it. Yeah, good point. Good point to Jirai. Thank you. Okay. And another thing that I want to just point out that you can have these two sentences are different. So saying that Alonso rides the blue and electric bicycle, it's not the same as saying that Alonso rides the electric and blue bicycle, because there's no rule which would equate these two sentences. Okay, I mean, we know that the meaning is the same, because if we know that a bicycle is blue and a bicycle is electric, then it doesn't matter which order we explain this. And moreover, these two sentences are also different. So if you say that there's a blue and electric and fancy bicycle, that's different to saying that there's a blue and then separately saying together that it's electric and fancy. Okay, so it really matters how you build up the sentences. Okay, and we can even fix this. So we can change our formal language in a way that these duplications won't be there anymore. So for the adjectives, we add some equalities as well. So we say that x and y is always equal, or it's the same as y and x. And we could also add this rule. So now the adjective has these 4 ways to construct adjectives. Okay, there are 3 pre-existing adjectives or constructors. Then from 2 adjectives we can construct a new adjective, and then there are these 2 equality rules which equate pre-existing adjectives. Okay, and now we can prove that Alonso rides the blue and electric bicycle is equal to Alonso rides the electric and blue bicycle, because blue is x now, then we have an and, then electric is y, and because we know that for any x and y is equal to y and x, then these 2 sentences are the same. Okay, so why did I show you all these this bit artificial example of a formal language? It's because when people were thinking about what is a computer program, there are these 4 famous researchers and mathematicians who gave different answers to this question. This was in the 1920s and 30s, and in fact the first answer to this question was by Moses Schönfinkel, a Russian mathematician who was working in Germany at that time, and he created the SK combinator language, which is the simplest what a computer program is in general, the simplest mathematical description of what a computer program is. And these other 3 people, they also give different answers, which are a bit more popular. But let me just show you on this next slide what a computer program given by Moses Schönfinkel is. It's also a formal language, and it's this simple. There are 3 ways to form computer programs, and there are 2 equalities between them. Okay, so there's the K computer program, the S. Then if I have 2 programs, then I can build another program from it. And then I have some equations, which basically tell me how to run computer programs. Okay, so I think I don't have too much time, but these slides will be shared with you, and you can study it later. But already this is a programming language in which you can write useful programs. You can write addition of natural numbers and printing things on the screen, and these kind of things can all be written in this simple programming language. For example, here is the identity program, which just returns the input. So I is the program, W is the input, and the output is just returning the input. It can be written by just saying that I is defined as SKK. Okay, it's that simple. Or here there's a proof that it really works as we prescribed. Or another program which given 2 inputs returns its second input. So the last input, where LXY, it will be just equal to Y. So the result of running this program will be Y, and the definition is just KI. Okay, this is a nice game. This is the simplest way to build programs because it's a very simple programming language. Okay, so what I'm doing research which is connected to these formal languages. So there's a formal language in which you can describe both computer programs and mathematical proofs, which are essentially the same thing. And this is based on the work of Per Martin Löf, Swedish mathematician and ornithologist. He developed this language in the 1970s. And I'm also teaching some courses at the university. So the programming language AGDA, and then master courses, which don't concern you that much, but you can meet me at the AGDA course or maybe other courses. It always changes which teacher teaches which exact course in each semester. And finally, I want to say some things about the ELTE's bachelor's program. So I also graduated graduated from ELTE, so I did my undergraduate in ELTE, and I did my PhD in England, and I've seen different universities, so I have some perspective on how our courses compare to courses in other universities, and what's unique about ELTE, I think, is that it gives you a very strong math background. So there are 5 different math courses. For example, you will have to study calculus for 3 semesters and discrete math for 2 semesters, and have a course on linear algebra for 1 semester. So this course gives you a very solid theoretical background. And while in most engineering style computer science courses, only the important parts of math is taught, and they teach you how to apply it, while here they teach you really the background and from the foundations and how all the theorems of calculus are built up. So it's really a theoretically oriented course, but also and then there are courses on theoretical computer science as well, and lots of practical courses. So if you have a good for example, I already was able to do programming when I entered the university. So for me, the most interesting courses were the mathematics courses. But if you are not able to program, then you can go to the practical, or then you need to make more effort to finish the practical computer science courses. Something that the courses are after 10 years of trying to make the course more STEAM on mathematical subjects is still very mathematics oriented, which is good to give you a kind of formal thinking and modeling the real world when you encounter real world problems, and you are able to think in an abstract way. So it's not really the content of these math courses which is good, but I think the way of thinking that it teaches you. And of course, if you want to stay in research like myself, or do more theoretically oriented computer science, then this is a big advantage compared to coming from other universities. Yeah. So that's all I wanted to say. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ambrus, for this very interesting presentation. Thanks a lot. And thank you very much also for showing us the strengths of this bachelor program, of the educational part. Because this is true that this bachelor program is going to give you the grounding for the future education and the future career opportunities. And it is really important for you to know that at us you will get a very fair, very solid grounding, both in science and also in soft skills. Let me turn to our students now, because we have students from various years. One of our students has to leave early today, so I would like to ask Tom first. About your experiences. What was it like to start your studies at Eötvös Loránd University? How did you pick us? What was the reason for coming to ELTE? And also, if you are doing internship or if you are preparing with internship, please let us know something about it.
Oh, hi. So my name is Somigazi Tom, and I'm from South Africa. I'm one of the international students. I got a scholarship with Stipendium Hungaricum, so it's in partnership with South Africa and Hungary to study in Hungary. We're generally given various options for different universities in Hungary to apply to, and I had read up on ELTE, and apparently it was one of the best in the country, so I figured, why not? Yeah, and then I chose computer science because well, my previous degree is in development studies, which is in the humanities department, and I want to go into policy research. So I worked briefly in policy and that kind of stuff. And I figured, the world, because the world is moving in that direction, in the direction of technology and so forth. And I come from South Africa, a developing part of the world. It would be beneficial to couple that with some technical skills in terms of what I want to do with my previous degree. So I chose ELTE because generally I'd heard it was one of the best in the country, and I'd heard the program in informatics was one of the best in the country as well. So it sort of just made sense. I'm currently about to do an internship with CSIR with one of our science institutions in South Africa. It specializes in research and industry and for policy purposes, which basically opens the doors for what I want to do. Yeah, that's pretty much it for me.
But then it really matches. It is really the something that is really for you, or something that you can work out on later on or on the long run. It sounds very interesting. I mean, even more interesting that it has this international component within.
Absolutely, yeah.
Thank you very much. Let me turn to Iqbal now. Please, Iqbal, tell a few words about yourself and let us know how is it going? How did it happen that you are at ELTE now?
First of all, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you. And I'm Eötvös Iqbal, and I'm from Pakistan. It's been my third year here in Hungary. In the first year, I was in Debrecen, which is the other city and the university. So when I was applying for the scholarship, I'm on a scholarship stipendium Hungarian. And the deadline was near at that time, and I never knew about ELTE, to be honest, and I applied to the University of Debrecen. But later, some of the friends told me that the Eötvös Loránd University is the best for the computer sciences, and I made my decision that I'm going to transfer to ELTE. And believe me, after that, I'm happy with my choice that I'm transferred to ELTE, because I like the course outline of the computer science as well as the teaching staff. Not only the professors, along with some of the senior students who help them and who help us as well on the spare time. So that was the most good thing I liked about it. And furthermore, just because I love to work on computers, that's why I chose the computer science. And furthermore, about the experience so far, I'm happy because I was also selected in one of the university back in Pakistan. But I wanted to explore the world as well as studying, so that's why I chose Hungary, and of course the scholarship as well. So I'm happy, and by that far, I'm a senior mentor for the scholarship program as well as for the ELTE. And you asked about the internship. I applied for like 3 or 4 companies by now, and to be honest, I do have a deadline of Ericsson today, and I will have to complete the online test by night. And after that, I will be doing that one as well. So I'm happy, and I'm happy just because by that far, after 4 semesters, I think I'm quite capable of doing something in a professional way as well, along with the studies. So that's I think I'm happy about it, that I have learned something in after 4 years, 4 semesters. I'm sorry.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your inputs, for sharing all these experiences. The next presentation that I have is about application. Is there anything that you would like to share with us before I start the application part? Because that is going to be, so is there anything that you'd like to share before we hop on another part of this webinar?
But I would like to say, if anybody wants any help or any suggestion, then I'm happy to help.
Okay. We have the student ambassadors on the website. So if you go to the main website of the university, elte.hu, then on the English part, you will also find the student ambassadors and the contacts to the student ambassadors. So you can turn to them and ask for any kind of information. So really, thank you very much for joining us today. I think you are one of the most important participants because you are the students. So thank you very much for showing up. And next, I would like to show the application part to our study programs. We are going to check quickly the application process, the application documents, and the application form itself. So the application process, the application deadline to the bachelor program is 30th of April. sometimes we are prolonging the deadlines, maybe not this year, so please prepare your documents accordingly, that we would like to close the application part this year with the 30th of April. Then we have a 1 or 2 months evaluation time. So the students, all the application materials are reviewed. All the application materials are reviewed by faculty and also by faculty committees. Very much likely, the applicants also have to fill in an online test. It's going to be a math test, and this is going to be really important, very decisive. If your application is successful, then we can notify you during the summer. It is approximately, let's say, July or August. And what is really important is that you only need to pay the application fee if your application was successful. So we are not collecting application fees from all the applicants. We are turning for this fee only to those applicants that will start the academic year in September. In Hungary, the university and also the school year starts in September with 1st of September. So we always try to schedule the arrivals accordingly. It means that if we are going to have live education, that you should arrive to Hungary in the end of August, or you should plan your arrival to Hungary in the end of August, because we are starting really very early in September, the 1st or the 2nd week of September. To submit your application, you will have to submit the application form, which is an online form. We are going to check it later on. We will need your secondary school finishing documents. We will need any documents that you have about any relevant education that you would like to show us here, attach here. A CV, a motivational letter. We will need the image of your passport picture, and the medical certificate that you are fit for higher education. We need many times pictures about you, at least 3 times. So don't get scared. This is just the regular procedure. We will need all the documents in English. If they do not exist in English or Hungarian, then you will have to translate them. And we can work with electronic documents during the application, but once you arrive and you will enroll, you will have to show us all the documents, all the original documents, and also the translation of these documents. So we cannot enroll you, we cannot sign you up for a university program as long as we didn't see the original documents, for example, an A-level exam certificate. This is the application website, and there is the Apply Now button. So by pressing this button, you can start the application. First, you have to make an ID. So basically, please use the email address that you check regularly. Start to create your account, and you will receive an email to your account that you have to verify, and then you will enter the application form or the application portal. As you can see, the full name at the very beginning and the email address cannot be changed. So when you are registering for this online application platform, please make sure that you are providing all the data as it has to be provided. In my test application form, as you can see, I picked the Polish citizenship, and then after filling in the fields, you can click continue. Oh. Just 1 second. The first part is the personal data to give, and then the priorities. Under the priority menu, you can pick the study programs that you're applying to. So here you can already see the computer science, bachelor in computer science is selected. If you would like to, if you see a different program, or if you'd like to add more programs, then you can use this button, add more choices. The profile also collects all the personal data. Please be sure that you are giving us the right data. We are asking for passport numbers, issue dates, expiry dates. These are all very important when we get to the visa application part. At the bottom of the page, you have to upload a picture of you, a passport picture, and that's how you can complete the personal data part. Contacts. I would like to highlight one point in the contact menu, that it is really important that you provide us with an emergency contact whom we can reach out to if there is anything happening. This emergency contact could be a parent, a friend, someone from the local city, but it has to be provided. And if anything happened to you, then this is the contact that we are going to reach for. Education, you can submit your education background here. Each of the education block represents one formal education. So let's say an A-level exam or another course that you had earlier. And you have to submit all the formal education that you've done earlier. Languages. First, you will have to select your native language, and then the foreign language field appears, in which you will have to indicate all the foreign languages you know, and all the details related to the exams and the scores of the exams and the level of the exams, of course. You can add, there is an activities menu, so you can also add various activities, various social activities or academic or scientific activities. If you don't want to, you do not need to fill in this form. Anyway, if you would like, there is the space for that. If you have a study abroad experience, or you've done a language course abroad, for example, then the residencies menu is the one where you can insert these experiences. That's what it looks like. You have to indicate the country, the purpose of stay, and you have to say indicate the length of your stay as well. The documents part is the one where you will have to upload all the documents. So once you have the PDFs or JPEGs or PNGs, you see all the file formats down there. They should be below 4 megabytes. And you have to upload all these documents into this one field so we receive it. In this application form, there is a space for to submit a motivational letter. You can either type your motivational letter here, or you can write a separate one and upload it to the documents part. There is one part in the other menu which is obligatory, and we are asking you to tell us where did you hear about us. This is really important for us to know, to get feedback how far we are reaching at the moment. So thank you very much for providing this precious information. On the bottom of the page, there are tick boxes, 2 tick boxes that you have to tick regarding the funding, whether you're applying for a governmental scholarship or not. And also there is the submit the application button. And once you submitted your application, there is also a checklist. This checklist is constantly updating as we are proceeding with the administration, as you are required to submit other documents or other translations. So basically, this checklist is really helpful because it is easy to track what is submitted and what has to be submitted again. If you had any questions, then international@inf.elte.hu is the email address to send your questions, your inquiries. We are really receiving many international applications, more and more each year. But on the other hand, there is more and more of us. So we are responding to these emails really quickly. So don't hesitate, just send us an email if there would be anything. This is the last slide of the presentation on how to apply. And this is the part when we are closing the presentations. And also, oh, I see an application and a question in the chat box regarding the application fee. Well, the application fee is 80 euros, and then there is a registration fee of 60 euros. So it adds up as 120. But basically, the application fee is 80 euros itself, to answer this question. Are there other questions regarding the application? Also, what we wanted to tell, that we are going to reply to all the questions that appeared in the chat room. If you were not able to reply to them now, then we are going to get back to these messages and we are going to send you emails with the answers. Another thing, it's regarding the interview. Yes, during the application, there is a selection process in which you will have to fill in some tests, mathematic tests. And also there is going to be an interview when also the English language skills are going to be checked. So how fluent are you? How good? What is the command of the English language? And also the scientific background, of course. Okay. Thank you very much for the participation today. It was really nice having you here with us. We are going to reply to all the questions that arose here in this chat. We have the social media, of course. So if you would be interested on looking at ELTE from faraway distances, then also the social media surfaces are very good for that. And thank you very much for coming. And this video recording is going to be available in a few days. And we are going to promote it on the websites and also on our social media platforms. So thank you very much for coming. Thank you very much for the presentation on Bruges. It was really very interesting. Thank you very much, Iqbal and Tom, for your participation as well. And hopefully see you soon. Hopefully see you soon in person, in live, and in Budapest. Thank you once again, and I'll just wait for goodbye. Thank you. Goodbye.